welcome to the special edition of ET Now Hangouts with me, Ankita Saxena. Well, how many girls really go to Paris and end up falling in love with a Macron, vow to bring their lover back to India and also end up becoming the Macron Queen of India? Well, she's also featured in the Forbes 30 under 30 list. Yes, you have guessed it right. I'm in conversation with Pooja Dhingra of Le15 Patisserie. Pooja, hi, welcome to ET Now Hangouts. So good to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Pooja, firstly tell me which girl goes to Paris and falls in love with a Macron. And you got Macrons to India at a time when Indian palate wasn't really that evolved, right? It was a big risk and clearly it has paid off. It has been 14 years since, long time. At that point, what were your thoughts? It was risky, and were there any naysayers, telling you not to do it because obviously it was unheard of?
So I'll say this, that I was 23 when I started Le15. And actually, I don't think it was a very big risk because I had nothing to lose. I was just a girl in her kitchen and making these macarons. And if it worked, it was great. But I wasn't even thinking about it not working. It was just that I was really passionate about a product and I just wanted people to try it. So it was all about like, oh, have you tried this? Or, get it to as many people as possible. And, I tell people now, it's like 14 years ago, right? There was no WhatsApp.
Correct.
There was no Instagram.
Right.
I sound so old.
No,
so I used to have a blog and I used to have a Facebook page, and that's how I used to operate. I used to just bake, and I used to make sure that I would, just randomly put pictures up. So I think it was...
that's how you spread the word around?
That's how I spread the word. I also went physically and I was present in every exhibition, every event, took tables in like different malls and just got people to try the product. And I also wanted to test the market a little bit, to see that why wasn't it available? Is it because people won't like it? Is it because they just are not aware about it? So it was a great sort of learning phase for me as well to see what the market really was like.
Right. So, speaking of, you were a chef turned into an entrepreneur. Was that always on the cards, or had you decided that, I will start my brand out and that's how I am going to showcase my culinary skills? Was that on the plans?
I think I was an accidental entrepreneur. When I came back from Paris, there was nothing, there were no the pastry scene was so different. Most pastry shops existed in 5-star hotels. There weren't too many standalone shops. So I was like, what can I do? So I didn't really have a choice. I think I was thrown into it. I was like, oh, if I want to do something different, I have to do it myself.
Yeah. Was it difficult to convince investors to invest in a girl who's wanting to get macarons to India?
So luckily, the cost to set up wasn't much.
Okay.
And I could manage that with just a small loan for my family. Okay. So I started with a very small kitchen in Lower Parel here. And honestly, from the very first month, I was on my own. So I had to hustle my way into making ends meet. So I would teach workshops on the weekend. I would travel and teach, and teaching became a big part of what I did.
Wow.
So at that point, like I said, it wasn't really a big risk. If you ask me the same question today, the answer might be a little different, but I think it was a lot easier then.
So, but you said that, if you ask this question now, it's a lot difficult. What has changed?
Is it right into that?
Yes, you walked right into that one. And tell me, why are the investors bothering you then?
No one is bothering me. I think, in fact, it's a great time for us as well, right? We built a brand and we built something strong, slow and steadily over time. And, I've been a very close, guard, like a gatekeeper of what I was doing, because I was so obsessed with quality and control and all of that. And for me, it's been a big lesson to learn how to kind of understand what scale means, understand how can you still scale products, looking at different models of brands that have successfully done that, understand that for myself, learn it. And now I'm at a stage where I'm ready, where I can go to the market and be like, this is my product, this is what I'm, what I've done, and what is next for us.
So what's your vision for Le15 Patisserie?
I have this, whenever anybody would ask me this, I would always say that I'd love to see a Le15 in every city. And now that I travel so much to cities to teach and do pop-ups, I see that there's a big demand for it outside of Mumbai. So my goal for this year is to go to different cities and have different touch points. And then, let's see where that takes us.
All the best to you for that. But there's also a lot of competition now, which wasn't there probably when you started out, right? There's so many patisseries that have opened up. There are cloud kitchens, and also with restaurants, in-house pop-ups. How do you navigate through the competition, and what are your challenges as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I feel that it's very important understanding what your niche is. I think what we've done really well at Le15 is really carving out that space for us where the product is concerned, and that kind of helps. So while there may be lot of competition where cakes and cookies and dessert and all of that is concerned, I think where macarons are concerned, we're still kind of really known for that.
Right.
So my plan is also how do I kind of expand on what we're really known for. But as an entrepreneur, you always have to keep innovating, right? There's this constant need for what am I doing that's going to be new? How do I get new customers in? How do I keep the ones that are already in the pipeline? How do I keep them excited? So I think that's what keeps us going, and that there's always a lot of work to do.
So Pooja, you mentioned, at the start that when you started out, you were doing it through your blog, and that's how you was, spreading the word around. But now there are too many options. There's social media, Instagram, YouTube. What role does social media play in furthering your business, or how has social media really enabled you?
I think for me, I always say this. I took to Instagram from the first day that I got it. I've been on the platform for 12 years now, and I actually I switched from a BlackBerry to an iPhone 12 years ago because I was like, I love the pictures, right? And food is so visual. So I think we've, Le15 and myself, we've been very strong on the platform for the last 12 years, and we kind of built our entire network on the platform. I think social media is extremely important, which is why you have so many people that love the brand and they've not even maybe tried the product. So I think it's key, it's crucial, and I think that we use it really well.
Right, absolutely. But Pooja, behind all the glitz and the glamour and Tim Cook coming to this kitchen, there's also a lot of sweat and tears that go into it, right? I'm sure. And there must be moments where you must be just wanting to just throw in the towel. Do you have those moments?
Oh, yeah. You asked me which, everyone's like, how's it going? I'm saying depends on the day that you ask me. And actually, that's what led to me starting my podcast, which is called No Sugar Coat, where basically we discuss entrepreneurship and I speak to people from the industry to map their journeys, because what you see online is a very small percentage of actually what it takes to build a business. And after having run a business for 14 years, I've seen like the highest highs, I've seen lowest lows, and you kind of then somewhere reach a median when things, you try to like teach yourself how to not get bothered by either
you become
of them.
a little detached from
Exactly, and that happens only with a lot of time and experience, but it is hard, and I don't think any entrepreneur will say otherwise. And the podcast is called No Sugar Coat, and you must listen to it to see what actually goes on behind the scenes.
Absolutely, Pooja. But what have been your biggest learnings? And from your highs and from the lows, from your failures, what have you learned as an entrepreneur? The young people who are watching you, what is your takeaway?
Oh, I feel I can write a whole book on this. I feel maybe that's what the next one should be about. But I feel like honestly, wow, that's going to take me some time to really to answer. No, I think for me there are many key lessons that I've learned. And I feel that, when I started out, my challenges were much different than what they are today. I feel that once you establish, the challenges your business goes through from zero to get to a certain phase are very different from then to here. And from now to kind of scale it are very different. I feel the one thing that I really tell everyone who starts a business is that patience. People always think that everything is an overnight success and everything happens like this, but things really do take time. And I feel that it's important to give it that time. I also feel like it's important to understand why you're doing something, and that really helped me during COVID as well. When business was like uncertain and we didn't know where it was going, to understand why am I doing what I'm doing. I'll give you a simple example. Like we used to have a cafe in Colaba that we had to shut down because of COVID. And that actually kind of helped us. We were thinking, okay, people still love the brand, they still love our products, and if they can't come to us, how can we get it to them? And that actually made us pivot and start a whole different line of packaged food, which we just saw, which is now such a huge market, and it's actually what we're going to scale. So I feel like it's also, as an entrepreneur, to have that flexibility and to understand the market and kind of be ready to pivot if you have to. So think fast. And so it's a mix of like fast and slow.
Fast and slow, right. And all the young girls, we are a show for the young and the restless, all the young girls, aspiring young girls who want to become entrepreneurs. what would be your advice to them? How do you get started and how do you tread this path?
I think for most women and most girls, and at least that's the experience that I had, and for the people around me, that's what I speak from, is that we have so much fear and insecurity in ourselves before we start anything. There's this doubt, there's this fear. Will I be able to do it? Will it be accepted? Am I even capable of it? I feel like once that you break that barrier within, that is the most important. And I feel that these are stories we tell ourselves. So I think my advice would be like, don't let anybody else define what you can or cannot achieve. Because, if someone had told me back then, like, who knows macarons? No one's going to eat it. I would have just been like, oh, that's right, there's not enough a market for it, and I would probably never done what I do. So I did kind of follow my passion, didn't listen to the too many voices outside, listen to a few. And just keep the faith because it takes time.
Right. So you have done it all, you have seen it all.
Not even.
Not even close.
Just
so
starting.
my question is, so you've been a judge on MasterChef very recently.
Yes.
You have your own brand. You have had Tim Cook come to your kitchen. You fed him your macarons. Yes. What's next? What's next on your bucket list, or is there anything that you still really want to do or you're passionate about?
There's so much that I want to do, right? I want to travel a lot more. I maybe want to do a travel series. Okay. I want to write a book on entrepreneurship and with all the lessons that I've learned of what to do and what not to do. Yes. But my goal right now is to really see and scale Le15 and take it to different cities, because I feel like that's a dream that I've always had. So that's going to be my main focus now.
Right. So finally, what are your expansion plans for Le15? Are you planning to increase the number of stores? Will you have more cloud kitchens? So
more stores, more point of sales across the country. Okay. That's the plan for now.
All right, but Pooja, we won't let you go just like that. We are going to play a quick rapid fire. Are you ready for the rapid fire?
I'm scared.
You don't have to be. It's sweet like a macaron.
Okay.
One macaron that never really made it, a failed macaron.
Oh my God, so many. I tried, when I came back, I did a kala khata macaron.
A kala khata macaron.
And you're like, yeah, that's why it failed.
No. I mean, it's very interesting, very out of the box. But okay, so you have fed Tim Cook in this very kitchen.
Yes.
Your celebrity crush that you'd like to feed your macaron?
Trevor Noah.
Trevor Noah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, I didn't have to wait a second to think about
Yeah, you didn't even wait for a second.
I didn't wait for the question to get over.
Yeah. Are you a picky eater?
No, I'm not.
You're not?
No.
Like, you don't go to restaurants and like, isme namak kam hai, you're not like that?
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm quite, I mean, I like good food, and but I'm not like, oh, I won't.
You're not picky?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet or savory?
Sweet.
Vegan desserts, sugar-free desserts, or you don't care, it's the taste that matters?
I think there's a time and place for both. I like to balance it. If I'm like training for something and I'm working out, then I'll try to go for the sugar-free options. If not, then indulgences is. Okay.
Ranveer Brar or Vikas Khanna?
No, you cannot ask me this question. I refuse.
Okay, your favorite place, your favorite destination for food?
Paris.
Paris, of course. That's where it all started, like the love affair, right?
And Tokyo.
Paris and Tokyo.
Yeah.
Okay, macarons or brownies?
You're really going to ask me this question?
Because brownies, when you fell in love with
baking.
Yes,
and but this is my bread and butter.
This is bread and butter. So macarons are definitely. All right, Pooja, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much.
And well, with that, it's time for us to slip into a short break. You don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.